I guess I'm just destined to be me.
How long has this been?
It's okay, it's not so bad.
Oh my gosh, it's only been an hour.
I'm used to it.
Oh, this is the longest movie of my life!
Now, normally we pick a song to sing our little tune to of Jota Zeta and Fortibus Watch Cinderella.
From the movie.
From the movie. So here we go. Jota Zeta and Fortibus Watch Cinderella.
Woohoo.
I think that was a bit too energetic. I think you need to take that down a notch.
Whoa. Ho.
Thank you.
We needed the time to process how truly awful of a movie that was.
Yeah, spoiler. This was not a good one.
No.
So
disclaimer, do not waste your time on this.
So a lot of the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, I've just been reading. There's 37 reviews total. There's no critic reviews. So here, I think this is my favorite review. I only watched this because of Jennifer Grey and Rob Lowe. I had no idea they'd been in a movie together. Seconds into it, I knew that watching it was a big mistake. They should have known it too.
For our viewers out there who have not wasted your time on the film, If the Shoe Fits, let me give you a quick summary of how this Cinderella adaptation works. Your main character, Kelly Carter, is a shoe designer living in Paris, working for Salvatore, relatively unknown, and that is your Jennifer Grey. And then Rob Lowe is Salvatore himself.
That's right.
Over-the-top designer in horrible outfits.
I mean, part of that is because this was made in 1991, I think.
I think just 1990.
So those type of things are definitely, I think a lot of it is a product of its time.
Moving on. So Rob Lowe, Salvatore, Francisco, is the prince character. He's very egotistical, very over the top, very passionate about fashion, I guess you can say.
Yeah, he's the head designer for Salvatore, which is the brand.
I'm pretty sure it's just Salvatore. Is it Salvatore?
I think it's Salvatore because it has an extra French accent to it.
He launches a fashion design, like a line, doesn't go well.
Everyone hates a collection. Everyone hates the collection.
So he decides to fire every designer he has and every model, and now he's on the hunt for a new model that can act as an inspiration.
I have lost my inspiration.
Carter, on the other hand, is wanting to become a real designer for this brand, because right now she's just like the person who changes outfits. And so she is that's her goal, to be a designer on this brand. And there is this weird fairy godmother character that is pushing the plot forwards and like getting them to meet each other. Prompts Rob Lowe, Francisco character, to hold the ball to find a new model, and whoever he notices will be his new inspiration. Kelly's best friend is like, come to the ball with me. Yeah. This fairy godmother character takes a pair of Kelly's shoes that she has made herself. Yeah, it was the shoes that she was going to show Rob Lowe, and they looked like those shoes that you got when you were. They looked like your basic butt shoes that you wore to every single school dance because they had sparkles on them. Yeah, they looked like they were cheap and that they were affordable. The fairy godmother makes these shoes magical, so when she puts them on, suddenly her face is very pretty and her hair is done. She shows up to the ball, very beautiful. Rob Lowe character sees her, invites her to be the new model for the brand, confesses his love to her that night. It's more of he just tries to sleep with her. Yeah. Which is the classic Rob Lowe thing that they kind of set up at the beginning. Because one of the first scenes with him is a girl just walks up to him and like just takes off all of her clothes, and he's just like, nah. Yeah, and he is like borderline sexually harassing a lot of the models at the beginning of the movie.
You are just delicious. All of you.
Yes. Mr. Rob Lowe is a creeper.
He's so creepy. When she's all beautiful, she tells him that her name is Prudence, and she goes, I'm friends with Kelly. So then you get rapid montage scenes of Kelly being a designer for Salvatore, giving him valuable input. They start developing an emotional connection while Rob Lowe is developing a lustful connection with Prudence. At the end of the movie, Kelly is like, it's either me or Prudence.
Either Prudence goes or I go. You can't have us both.
Why not?
Listen to me. Either she goes or I go.
And then he chooses Prudence.
She yells at him.
she yells at him and is like, fine, I quit. And she leaves. But then she comes back as Prudence, is all pretentious. And he goes, I love Kelly. And then he goes and runs after Kelly. And they kiss under the bridge. And nothing is ever resolved.
No, you forgot to mention, he didn't go to Prudence and say, he's like, where's Kelly? Okay, fine, where are the shoes? Because he was still focused on his job. Where's the shoes? And she's like, no, I'm not going to wear the other shoes.
Can't wear these, they're horrible.
They're in a shoot, and this shoot was built up by a whole scene where Rob Lowe's like, hey, I need you, Kelly, to be there, and Prudence, I need you to be there at the same time.
Are you gonna be in time for the fitting?
Of course.
Good. I'm gonna want you right by my side.
Good night, I'll see you tomorrow.
That was the whole setup to the scene.
I need Kelly's intellectual input and Prudence's beautiful face.
And it's really funny because the shoes are there the whole time after the ball, and so she puts them on and she turns back into her Prudence persona. It's very Clark Kent Superman.
So tacky.
And every time that the shoes get put on, someone at the edge of the room is like flipping on the lights on and off.
And there's a little twinkle noise.
Sometimes.
Every time.
Is it every time?
Every time.
I don't know. I don't give the movie that much credit. So they're going back and forth, and then Kelly thinks she's won because for some reason she fooled Rob Lowe into thinking that Prudence was asleep next to her on a couch.
When Rob Lowe wanted to see them both in the same room.
And he just never got to what he wants. He's just like, fine, whatever, okay. Because then Prudence was tired at work and couldn't go out there, and he wasn't mad at her. But then it was like, I need her to wear different shoes. And then Kelly's like, oh crap, because the shoes is the power.
I haven't seen the shoes.
The shoes?
Well, he needed Prudence to wear Kelly's shoes that she had spent time designing.
Yes, because these were new shoes, and that was supposed to make the whole new dress, which was prepared a whole 2 scenes ago with a single or two single lines of dialogue, I think.
Yeah, but it was also like not even the dress they were talking about.
Okay, so here's the hard thing about everything, is that there's no emphasis on the scenes. The dialogue is generic, sure, but then the scenes go on too long. There's no soundtrack to any of this at all either.
No.
The silence is not helping this.
Nope.
And there's no music in any of the scenes to lighten it. They're quiet.
You can hear them walking. You can hear them shuffling around. It feels like the sound was not fully edited. It's just, the whole movie felt so off. Like, there was no emphasis given to, there was no rising action.
No.
And the falling action sucked.
Yeah.
The most climactic moment of the movie wasn't that climactic.
Because it wasn't built up. It wasn't built up to be like a big event or anything like that. Because it was just a normal fashion shoot on Saturday.
This movie, it doesn't have a focus.
It doesn't have a focus.
Your Kelly character doesn't have a personality. Her goal is to be a shoe designer, but then doesn't realize that in being a shoe designer, she would have to get Prudence to wear different shoes. Like, her whole goal is to get her shoes featured, but then she's also designing dresses and coats. Well, here's the problem with this movie is the characters don't have any consistency to them.
Yeah.
Let's break this down on a level.
Okay.
Okay, so you have Rob Lowe's assistant, which is like the stepmother character.
Which her name is Taffy, by the way.
Yes.
Never said.
Never said once.
Mimi, I need you. Mimi, come quick.
Oh, not now, Mimi. Mimi, close the door.
Mimi, throw it out.
It might have been said.
We really didn't pay that close attention, I guess. Taffy is a suck up to Rob Lowe and is super rude to Jennifer Grey for no reason.
Who?
When Kelly Carter gets promoted to be a designer, she goes, why her? She has zero experience. She has no talent. And that like little hatred or like that disgust, not portrayed or mentioned or shown once.
We can't let an amateur work with a master.
Or explain. She just doesn't like her.
Yeah.
Which is, but you take that, like people some can not like people. Yeah, but in a film where you want to set up this antagonistic force, you really want to see her overcome some antagonistic force, that's what you do it.
But the thing about Taffy too is she was nice to everybody else, theoretically, or like she didn't have any interaction to like portray any character. So she felt wishy-washy. Let's talk about Rob Lowe now. And his character was super inconsistent. At the beginning of the movie, he's an egotistical, whiny baby. And then in the middle of the movie, he does slapstick comedy.
Yes.
And then at the end of the movie, he's super insightful. And he has deep conversations with Kelly Carter. And it doesn't feel like the same person.
So this is a TV movie. This was made for TV, and while during the film, we were making fun of a lot of the budgetary costs and restrictions. Clearly, whatever network was paying for this got very little. I also think that the director didn't want to be doing this. I think he cashed in a paycheck. I think it's a very Netflix thing. You get 2 stars, and you get a director who has some credit behind him, and then like make a movie, and they're like, okay, here's a movie. All right, I'll direct it, I guess. I'll let you put my name on it. But here's the 3-movie problem. The 3-movie theory. 3-movie problem. But you have it in 3 parts. The first part is showing that Kelly is invisible because everyone ignores her. She wears jeans and she has a hat and glasses. I think she looks a bit quirky. Actually, I know people that looked like this.
I know, and it's like stylish.
They were stylish, and people like to get to know them and everything. It was they were even a little like less confident and whatever, but like they were just like nothing like this. And so it sets up that, and like that's the first half of the movie.
Senora Salvatore, I'm Kelly Carter.
I'm very happy for you.
Sets up the best friend that sound like, oh, go do it, Kelly.
We are going to rebuild your self-confidence.
Who I think she's French. Yes. And she's speaking English with a very thick French accent.
I feel like it's not a real French accent.
I think it is. I looked up the actress. I think she's French.
Oh, maybe I just don't like the French accent then.
Well, I don't think that the sound design of this movie did her any favors because it was all quiet. Even in a film with no sound, it was quiet.
Yeah, but only quiet sometimes.
But then it sets up the 2 evils, roommates who are just dirty. That's their thing.
That's their thing, is they just are just bad roommates.
And they laugh at her once. And then she meets the godmother, the fairy godmother, who is just a traveling tourist.
With magical powers. They set her up. Oh yeah, so that's one of the things. So like she's getting ready to go to work because she's late because she had a dream. It shows her desire, which was to dance with Rob Lowe as a beautiful person. And then and because it's a nightmare, she got laughed at because then she was all in her normal clothes. And everyone was like, ha ha ha. First I was like, oh, because you were like, oh, well, it's going to be a dream. I was like, oh, no, but it didn't do the dream thing. It didn't do the dream fade. It was just another scene. I was like, oh, that's supposed to be a dream. 3-movie theory. So and then you introduce the godmother and everything like that, and they kind of set everything up. And then the middle part is the Cinderella story. It's the ball. There's gonna be a ball. So then the second is Rob Lowe throws a ball because he wants to look at everybody without looking at everybody. That was his thing. That was his thing
because he wants to be a creeper.
And he doesn't know what it's going to inspire him, so he wants to happen upon him naturally.
Yeah, and then the godmother gives Kelly advice. Your shoes are magical, comes out of nowhere. And then she walks up to his house. Is this Versailles?
I don't like the fairy godmother.
She's that 90s quirky.
But she looks like the magic school bus teacher.
Miss Frizzle, yeah, kind of. She looks like Miss Frizzle.
She looks like Miss Frizzle, and Miss Frizzle was French and got lost all the time.
Oh my gosh, she said she was from Missouri too. I think either that she was in Missouri or she was from Missouri.
I think she was in Missouri.
Okay. Oh, I was in Missouri a week before I realized I was supposed to be in Paris.
I didn't know whether I was in Missouri or Paris. She also goes to Rob Lowe's house to be like Francesco.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, hey, I'm lost. By the way, if you're looking for something, maybe it's right in front of you the whole time. And he's like, oh, I've got an inspiration. So that's what spurs that bit. She wears the shoes, doesn't realize that she's special. One thing I will give this movie credit for is when she walked in, well, not that bit, but when she went up to her friend at the party, which her friend totally walked into the party and she wasn't stopped at all. It was just like...
I know, and her friend was like, you could be my date to the party, but then had to sneak in.
Why don't you be my date tonight? We'll crash this party together.
Yet Kelly had an invitation to the party. Just doesn't make any sense.
Did you get one? Of course she didn't.
Her friend didn't recognize her and they held on that scene for a long time. That was a good scene hold where she's like, oh, I can't believe, I think everyone's looking at me. Yeah, why are you talking to me?
Kelly?
Yeah, what do you think?
You don't look like you.
they kept that scene a little, like another 20 seconds, like 10 seconds too long. Then Rob Lowe sees her, walks up, and is like, I must have you. Yeah, and then he's just like, I don't want to know names. I don't want to know contact information. I just want to enjoy the moment.
You're my inspiration.
And then like everyone leaves, and he's like, I must sleep with you. And she's like, no, goodbye. But it's in the 90s way of where the creep thing is kind of okay, I guess.
I feel like you're right because I watch a lot of John Hughes films and oftentimes the creep things are
Watch
romantic.
some old James Bond films.
Oh, yeah?
It's really bad.
Oh.
It's really bad. It does not age very well at all. And then that's the second movie is that happens and it sets her up as the designer. And the third movie is her being the designer and her magically turning into Prudence and then dealing with that. And I think that the movie is most alive in the third movie.
And it feels like the third movie should have been the bulk of the film, but it's not even like a third of the movie, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that they pitched the script as something like this, is that let's play a Cinderella, and then someone was like, no, we need more Cinderella checklist boxes. And then they had to go through and they had to film everything more, but they also just could have had like no budget to do any of their expensive ideas.
Honestly, they could have cut out the whole first part and started from the second movie to the third.
Yeah.
And it would have been a lot better.
It would have been more interesting. We didn't even know that Kelly went to a designer school to begin with until the 60 minutes in.
Yeah, like that's the thing is let's talk about Kelly's character now.
Let's talk about Kelly.
We knew nothing about Kelly. All we know is that she likes shoes and that she's awkward and clumsy and she
wasn't really awkward and clumsy. There was a cart full of clothes that was gonna hit Rob Lowe. And so she heroically, with no music school stings or anything like that.
To make it intense at all.
Yeah. And it was just, again, it was going a fast half a mile an hour.
Oh yeah.
And she grabbed it and then it fell on her. And then one woman scoffed at her, and then Rob Lowe didn't look at her at all because she was beneath him.
And she's like,
I'm so clumsy.
Embarrassed. But she does that at the end of the movie when she gets to have the opportunity to be a designer. She walks into that office confident. She leans over Rob Lowe. She gives her opinion and Rob Lowe gains a respect for her. But then 5 minutes earlier, she's awkward and clumsy. Yep. And at the beginning of the film, she's like picking up after her roommates and she keeps dropping what she's trying to clean up.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that.
She's like, hee. Oh my goodness, I'm just so bad at cleaning because I'm a little ditz and I'm just a girl.
You insist that was like a decision. I am pretty sure that they only had one take and that's all that she could do. Like, she's like, oh crap, and she messed up and she like went back and tried to play it off as a ditz.
Oh my goodness, I have never seen someone drop so many things. It has to be a choice.
Also, did you notice that her voice was always monotone?
Yes.
And like there was no excitement.
Yes.
Every now and then there was the smirking, giggly laugh like that she would do with her friend. I'm like, oh hey, she's showing an emotion, but it was for things that weren't funny or weren't interesting or...
Yeah, like let's talk about Kelly's expressions and emotions. She secretly has a crush. She's like pining after Rob Lowe. You don't feel that.
No.
It's said, but you don't feel that.
They even have a scene showing it. And
it's just awkward and horrible and you want it to end. And when Kelly is Prudence, when she puts on the magical shoes, Prudence doesn't know what to do with her face and she like has this like haughty image and is like, ooh.
Oh my gosh, yeah. When she is Prudence, she looks and acts like the biggest stuck up person.
Yeah, and she's like always trying to like look to get like the best light. And maybe you could read into that she's trying to be more beautiful and she feels insecure about being
because there was a
beautiful.
scene with the best friend before they're like, hey, you're losing yourself, which then is followed by the next scene with the best friend where she's like, you should kill your Kelly Carter personality.
You should just be Prudence from here
and that way I can make all the money.
One of you two has got to go, and I say we get rid of Kelly.
What? So we can have money and careers in fashion. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And so, like...
I mean, it makes sense. That could be a movie. Most of this movie was boring. Most of it, we were just, like, waiting for things to end. But the ending made us angry.
So mad.
Okay, so the last movie of in my 3-movie theory. So that she's like, okay, I'm going to be the model, and then my friend's gonna whisk me away as people are taking pictures of me. No one's gonna notice, and then I'm, as Kelly Carter, I'm gonna come out and say, Mr. Rob Lowe, I think your designs are stupid because I'm showing my honesty, and my true relationship is building with Rob Lowe.
Because we're honest to each other and he values my opinion.
He just starts out of nowhere.
They're getting to know each other. She is seeing the real him. She gifts him a watch because he never knows what time it is.
That's in a very, very awkward scene.
So bad.
And that's in the montage scene. And it's kind of neat that there is some thought and attention to detail because he's wearing it at the end still.
Yeah.
Because it's a watch with a happy face, which is also a tie into the coolest thing in the movie. It's a giant stopwatch as a clock on a wall. And it's just really cool.
And it looks so out of place in that apartment.
It really does. Because that's what you think. 2 models and a fashion designer, giant watch on the wall.
Anyways, so about this ending scene.
About the ending scene. So then it sets up like it can't keep happening. So Kelly's designing some shoes. Her Prudence powers are tied to her shoes. And Rob Lowe's getting increasingly frustrated with both of them being not in the room at the same time. And so he's like, okay, I want you to be watching this. I want you to be doing this. And so then the scene starts to build up where that's going to happen. And things get harder and harder, but Kelly just keeps pulling it off. It turns out it was super easy, barely an inconvenience.
But then you reach the real problem, which is Rob Lowe wants Prudence to wear Kelly's shoes.
Yes, the shoes that Kelly designed to go with the coat. I haven't seen Prudence in them. I want to see that before we go.
So that's where everything is going to fall apart.
And then the movie boils it down to this decision. And not the movie. Kelly says this to her friend. And her friend discussed this. It's either Kelly or Prudence, which they have proxied as it's either Kelly's shoes or Prudence modeling.
Right.
And whatever Rob Lowe chooses, that's who he truly loves, which doesn't make any sense.
And so the best friend's like, you should be Prudence because that makes you money.
That's gonna get you your dreams as being a big designer.
Is because you'll be famous, you'll know the right people.
Which also doesn't make any sense because at the beginning of the film, she establishes that she wants to be a shoe designer.
Yeah. If she thought about maybe I could be a model, if she was losing herself, this decision would have more weight. Or if they were poor and like they were scraping for food.
Nope, literally very nice apartment. They had a shopping spree earlier in this movie.
And that was instantly resolved because although Kelly stormed off in a huff, the friend then helped with everything else in the scene.
Yep.
Kelly walks out and then Kelly's like, okay, fine, I can't have both. And then she walks away.
Her friend wants her to be Prudence, and Kelly turns and her friend goes, "What does Kelly have to offer?"
What does Kelly have to offer? A lot.
And Kelly goes, Kelly has a lot. So now she's kind of feeling empowered that she wants Rob Lowe to choose Kelly.
Yes.
So then she goes out to Rob and she just gives him her opinion that he's selfish, he's vapid and vain.
Yeah, there's a little bit more of that. She walks up and says, hey, I can't work with Prudence anymore. I think she says she won't wear the shoes.
Yeah.
And it's either me or her, which comes out of nowhere because like the lie is that they're really good friends and everything has been fine. And then she's just like, yeah, it's either me or her. And he's like, well, I need to see her in the shoes. And then that's when she walks away. And she's like, well, you know what, Mr. Rob Lowe? And then she does that. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. And what's so odd is that this whole decision is it's either Kelly's shoes or Prudence modeling. Yeah. Comes down to it's either me or Kelly. But we don't say that to Rob Lowe. We don't say it's either me or Prudence. For all we know, Rob Lowe is dumb and doesn't understand the secret weight of this decision that he's making.
Yeah, and I don't think that he never, like, the Spanish word is darse cuenta. He never really realizes that that's the type of decision that he's making right now. Yeah. Like, he's never showed any romantic interest in Kelly. Kelly's just been a good coworker and stuff like that.
Well, I think the show tried to show his romantic interest in Kelly.
If you pull up those scenes, you can see that he's looking directly at the art as she's directly pining into him.
No, there's a couple times where he looks at her face, I think.
Softly?
Yeah.
As in, you're someone that stands up to me.
He's honestly very touched by the happy face smiling watch.
I guess so. It was just not shot very well.
And then also him asking for the time was never set up. So that watch also feels very random.
Yes, it was.
But Rob Lowe's answer of, well, I need to see Prudence in the shoes makes so much sense.
Yes. It is very, very expensive to arrange all this.
Because as Mr. Designer Guy, you're like, oh, well, let me just see her in the shoes. If they're really that bad, then
let's figure it out. And she gets mad at him, yells at him. She leaves, quote unquote.
Rob Lowe, quote unquote, has chosen Prudence over Kelly. She leaves, and then he goes to follow her, and then Prudence walks out and is suddenly way more stuck up than she ever has been, because Prudence also had no character. And Rob Lowe goes, I need you to wear these shoes. And she goes, I can't wear these shoes. They're hideous. They're so terrible. I will never put them on, never. So then she's all like stuck up and everything. And then Rob Lowe is like, Prudence, I'm sick of you. These shoes aren't just shoes. They're an embodiment of Kelly's hard work, of Kelly's soul, of Kelly's creativity and design. And then what happens, JotaZeta?
Prudence kisses him.
Because Kelly is so touched by what he's saying.
And he's like sitting there confused going, what's going on? What's going on? And then she's like, she kisses him. And then I think she just like leaves.
She just leaves.
And then the next scene is Kelly walking at the canal, the same canal as earlier in the movie because locations are difficult to pay for, where she's just walking and she's looking angry again.
For no reason, because her friend, well, when Prudence was in the room when Rob Lowe asked where Kelly was and left to go after Kelly, and it doesn't make sense how she got there first, but she's looking angry, but she shouldn't, because she knows that Rob Lowe is coming to go to her and to confess to her. She knows what's gonna happen.
And so then he pulls up on the bridge. The godmother is everywhere in the background of these shots and then in the foreground, and she's just like, and then Rob Lowe is walking down very slowly down the bridge so that the godmother can have a whole scene of, oh, you're so sweet, even though it's the big climax of the movie, and she shows up just to have a 2-minute conversation with her about like, you are so nice, girl, you should always be nice. Okay, bye-bye.
But like, Kelly's niceness is not even a theme throughout the movie.
Not really. I mean,
she's just awkward and weird.
She's awkward and weird. I mean, I guess she does clean up after her roommates. Anyway, Rob Lowe comes down and he's just like, I need you to work for me. Why? Because you're talented. Because you have something. You're magical.
You're magical. And then they kiss. That's their connection. The only thing is that she is quote unquote honest to him, and she has said twice that I have never lied to you. She's literally Prudence. It's never found out that she is Prudence. Rob Lowe never reconciles that the two people that he likes is the same person, and he's getting the best of both worlds.
And she throws the shoes, and then the scene half cuts to the shoes, to the box of shoes on the ocean, and in the river, and that's floating, but it doesn't do a really good job to focus that the shoes are going now. It just kind of fades out halfway, and so you see both, and then it's just over.
And also, when she threw the shoes into the river, they weren't in a box. 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 That's true. And like, what I wanted to happen is at the end of the movie, when Rob Lowe came to like, this is what I wanted to happen. I wanted Rob Lowe to find out what happened, B, that they were the same person, be upset that Kelly lied to him, because that was like their bond is honesty. Then when he was realizing, like, I don't know, she must have like apologized and then talked about how she wanted the best of both worlds or whatever, and how
I was afraid that you never looked at me when I was myself.
And then he would say something dumb, and then later when he kind of runs after her, like days later, a week later, or whatever.
Well, he needs to figure it out that he needs to grow.
Yeah. And when he comes to that realization, he would go meet up with Kelly, and she would be somewhere in the middle aesthetically between these two versions of her.
Or actually, I would have made her completely Kelly again. I think I would have put a couple more scenes in there where she's enjoying the Prudence lifestyle, and then she like remembers her dream and she realizes what she's becoming. That's what leads to her confessing to Rob Lowe. Like that sets up the emotional basis for wanting to be that, and her having him pick.
Yeah.
And then she just shouldn't want to have him pick. She should reveal it to him.
Yeah.
Especially like with the scenario that they set up of like, I need you to be both watching. Okay, Mr. Lowe, come here really quick, and have the friend there for support. And then she's like, check this out. Take off the shoe. Terrible lighting effect. I'm the same person.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I feel she gained confidence through Prudence.
I feel like she had confidence after she became Prudence, but that was it.
Yeah, my thinking of like them being mixed together is her normal outfit is just in like the shirt unbuttoned and then her hair back and maybe with her pearl earrings and then no glasses.
Maybe. And then you're right. Like he needed to figure that out. He needed to find her and say specifically like, yeah, Prudence got me to notice you, but that's because I was vain. That's because I was wrong. This is what true beauty looks like. It's this emotional connection.
And what I really love about you is our honesty. And Kelly, is more an inspiration to me than Prudence ever was.
And then that's cute because you love her for who you are, and then you kiss, and then you do the thing. The problem is that was in the everything was set up in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And the movie needed to end.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the 3-movie theory.
Yeah.
The first movie was boring, the second movie was a boring Cinderella, and the third movie was interesting but rushed. Oh, it was so bad. Oh my gosh, it was awful.
It was so bad. The biggest problem of the movie is the 3-movie theory and inconsistent characters.
Yeah.
And just kind of really bad dialogue, and there's no soundtrack that helps you feel the emotions you should be feeling.
Yeah, it's quiet where it doesn't need to be quiet. The soundtrack has like 3 songs in it. I'm surprised that there's music credits for someone who actually has credit in giving music to this.
2, the fairy godmother character was random, felt out of place in
We
this
didn't talk
movie.
about the cuts that they had.
We didn't.
We didn't talk about the kid with the balloon
No.
and how it was a different kid that picked up the balloon.
I think it's the same kid.
It's not,
just
because I
different
saw it in 2 other reviews. And I was setting her up as kind of like this comeuppance type of person or whatever. And then in the longest scene where they meet, when Kelly meets her, Kelly's like, oh, I'm late for work. And it's like, it's awkward, it's stilted, and it's like, oh. And then she's like, oh, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm at the map. And she's just acting like that. And she's like, I don't want to. I don't want to. And then she looks over. I don't want to. Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, I guess I'll be a good person and help you.
Go over here. And then she goes away. Oh, what about this? Oh, over here. And then she was about to walk in front of a car, just in case you don't understand that
Kelly is a good person.
She's about to get by a car and she pulls back. Oh, you saved me. And she was like,
Fairy godmother was just so weird.
and her dialogue was like quick, but like not, there was nothing emphasized. There was nothing magical. There's nothing whimsical about her. She was just weird.
She was just Miss Frizzle without any of the charm.
Yeah. A charismatic Miss Frizzle.
Also, like, she has magic powers in this movie. Like, she often switches outfits, switches characters, and her whole idea is to be the fairy godmother that prompts Rob Lowe to give the ball and make them fall in love, essentially. Yeah. But it feels so out of place in this movie for me.
Yeah, it does. I like that she was kind of spying on everyone. It's just that she was very gaudy. I kind of like that. I guess that's the best part of the cinematography is that she was in the background shots. I was like, it was kind of like playing Where's Waldo. I'm like, oh hey, there she is. Oh hey, there she is.
I think she was meant to be a lot of the comedy element, but she just wasn't funny.
It wasn't funny. I don't know. I have nothing against the actress. I just don't think that the film was shot in a way where her type of that humor really works.
I totally
because it was
agree.
shot flat and boring. The only other thing that we haven't mentioned is Rob Lowe has there's three scenes, but there's 2 real, like, there's 2 times where he's in his robe and he's doing the Vitruvian Man on the floor for some reason.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that someone had an artistic idea of what that was supposed to be like, because I was like, ooh, that's man and is like most artistic or something. But it's just weird. And it happens twice.
So weird.
And then there's the scene where he's breaking down and he's underneath that childlike desk with all of those art faces that are so colorful that it looks like a child's room.
That also doesn't fit with his very Victorian style home.
Oh my gosh, no. Which we only see the entryway and that one room that is probably just a hotel ballroom.
And his bedroom.
Which is probably just another corner of that hotel ballroom.
Probably is. His bedroom is so awko.
I also loved how their dinner scene, they were across from the table, and then they were at a corner table, and then they were just
get closer
next to,
and closer.
I'm sure that was it, but it also didn't make any sense. And then once
we don't have any dialogue for them to connect about. Let's just show them physically getting closer. Hey, play with your lobster.
I also really like how when it was them dancing next to the piano person, was they got to him twice and he's like, oh, I'm smiling and having a good time as I'm pretending to play the piano.
The piano person had half the screen time of their romantic dinner scene as the main lead love interest did.
That's true, and I was very invested in his whole character arc.
Me too. There's so many things.
There's so many things. There's a story there. This just falls flat. It fizzles. It's like a soda that's been open for 2 days.
Flat. Okay, JotaZeta, is this a good Cinderella adaptation?
No.
Why? To play devil's advocate, it has a pumpkin carriage, the orange car.
It did have the orange car, which
the
was nice.
shoe is at the ball.
And it was set up at the beginning.
They meet at the ball. Nobody knows who she is. So the mistaken identity character is in there.
Yep. And that was even a central point, which I praised. It's not a good Cinderella film because Cinderella, as I've learned, is a character and she has a personality.
She has something to overcome.
Yeah, she has obstacles and things like that. And her obstacle is that she can get a meeting with this fashion designer. She just didn't get a meeting with him to that day. Like, oh no, all of her life is ruined. It didn't really seem like that. It was just like, oh, maybe we just wait a couple more days. She also had another opportunity to do that, to talk to him, and she just didn't.
And she just didn't take it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was when his lowest point was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And she could have been like, I should show you these shoes. This will change your life. Like, that could have been... That could have been it. So, yeah, but I understand what they were trying to do. They were trying to say, like, she's shy, she has no self-confidence. But then they didn't really solve that. They just made her, quote unquote, pretty. And then that changed her magically.
Yeah.
And then it became about becoming her true self. That's where it all mumbles together. It's not consistent, and her character, and honestly, like, she barely cleaned up. The roommates were rude to her once. I mean, yeah, they were careless and put stuff on top of her designs or whatever.
Yeah, but they're not, like, actively rude. They're just not very considerate people.
Yeah, they're just not very considerate, and it's just like, well, why are you living there with them? And she like kind of laughs like, oh, they're so silly and dumb.
Yeah, a lot of her problems feel like they're in her control, easily to change.
Yes.
My biggest thing about why this is not a good Cinderella adaptation is I feel like a central and integral part of the Cinderella story is when the love interest realized that Cinderella and Ella is the same person and that he likes her for who she is. I feel like, or like, you get to see the truest version of her when you see them combined together.
Yeah, you get to see the prince not care that she comes from, in the 1950s Cinderella, he doesn't care that she comes from a freaking, like, she's in a tower, she's a maid, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Because they met at the ball, he danced with her, and he's like, this is the woman that I like.
Love conquers all.
Love conquers all.
And in this movie,
it's manipulation conquers all.
Manipulation conquers all, because he never gets to see that realization that they're one and the same, and that the two sides of both of their hearts actually connect.
Maybe it's just smarter than we are, because at the beginning he's just treating women as objects because no beauty interests him. And so at the very end, the tables have turned that she treats him as an object. Like, oh, she won him.
I feel like that's a really good take, but that is not what they were thinking at all.
No, because they had a couple of good thoughts of like, ooh, we're gonna make the car orange. Oh, when she's walking, we're gonna have people catcall her and they're gonna crash the car. Like, that was in the trailer. I was like, ooh, if that's what the whole movie is gonna be like, we're gonna have a rough ride. I would have loved to see that movie. Mm-hmm. Also, her dress was awful.
So ugly. This movie did not show the perseverance that Cinderella is about.
Yeah.
It didn't show loving each other for who you are. Nothing about that. So now, for my last question, I think we all know the answer. On our list, where does this movie rank?
Well, no, of course this is at the bottom. This was awful.
It was bad.
What an amazing journey this has been.
Oh, it was a long journey.
And I can't wait to see if this is going to be the worst thing we ever see, or if there's worse things out there.
I'm genuinely terrified that there's a worse movie than this one.
But this is the bottom. Cinderella, no. But as a Cinderella movie, rock bottom. As a movie, rock bottom. This movie sucked. Oh, right.
This movie sucked.
This movie sucked. Like if you liked it, comment if you have anything to say, or if you liked this movie, please explain to us why. Honestly, I really do want to know. Also, if you want to give us a can of Coke, you appreciate what we're doing, there's a PayPal link in the description, so you can check out this other video that's over here. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
All of you Netflix fans of that. Oh, I'm going to say this one
all
more
you
time.
Netflix fans.
All of you.
Keep that in, would you?
All your Netflix fans.
Because it's a three movie movie. I have a 3 movie theory.